All right. Hello, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Janie, and I'm here to talk to you today about a couple different things. First, we're going to start with talking about our artist toolkit. Do you know artists have a toolkit that they can use with all the tools inside that you need to create a really great piece of art? So let's take a look at what our tools are. Our tools, when you group them together, are called the elements of art. That's what professional artists will say. They are elements of art. And there are 7 basic elements of art. And they are things like color, line, shape, value, texture, form, and space. And artists use these in all kinds of different ways to create really great works of art. Now today we're going to focus on just one of those tools. Doesn't mean that's the only one we're going to use, but that's the one we're going to focus on. So today, where is it? There it is. We're going to focus on shape. Okay, so let me put my toolkit right here. We're going to use shape today. And I have a card here. It's going to help us figure out what shape is. So, shape. Element of art that's two-dimensional. That means it's flat. It doesn't have any depth to it. So it's like a shape you would draw on a piece of paper. You can't see the back of it. You can't flip it around and see the sides. It's two-dimensional. And it's an enclosed space. So it's made by using a line. We use a line to make the outside edges of it, and that encloses it. Now, the 2D is what makes it different from form. And examples of shapes are things like circles and ovals and triangles and rectangles. Those are pretty easy, right? Okay, so now that we know what shape is, I got some pictures that I'd like to share with you. Now, we're going to go up here. We have geometric shapes, okay? Geometric shapes are shapes that have a name. Easy to remember. Square, rectangle, circle, oval. All of these shapes have a specific name that everybody knows, okay? Then you have what we call organic shapes. These are rounded, curved, soft edge shapes. They might resemble things like, this looks a little bit like a flower, but you see there are no sharp, straight edges, okay? They're very rounded and very curved, very soft looking. So let's take a look at the two together. Organic versus geometric. You see the geometric shapes, except for the exception of ovals and circles, they all have straight edges and sharp corners. They all have a specific name that everybody knows. And the organic shapes you can see here, none of these have a specific name that everybody would know right off. That one looks a little bit like a star. It could be a flower, but they're very organic in nature. Okay. So we're going to use these in creating our artwork today. We're also going to use some inspiration from Mo Willems. He is an author and an illustrator, and we've looked at other people like him. One that we did recently was looking at Eric Carle. He is also an author and an illustrator, and if you remember, turn your brain on and recall that information. An author is someone that writes the story, and an illustrator draws the pictures. Eric Carle does both. So does Mo Willems. He writes and illustrates his own children's books. And the one we're going to talk about is The Pigeon Wants a Puppy. And you can see at the bottom of the book it says Words and Pictures by Mo Willems. So he is the author and the illustrator of this book. And it's a really cute and fun book to read. And we're going to share that in class today. And then when we finish sharing the book, we're going to start to make our art project. So let's take a look at what that is going to look like. Okay. So we're going to take a background sheet of paper. Okay, so let's get started on our picture. I'm going to give you a background color. Some of the ones I've done are on green, some are orange, some are blue. It doesn't really matter. We're going to pick a nice color to use for our background. I'm going to grab a magnet. That's a geometric shape right there. Now I'm going to give you two geometric shapes to make the body of our dog, our puppy, for our pigeon. So we have a triangle here. This is going to make the body. Put the glue on the shape. And then stick that down to your background. So I'm going to turn mine kind of like that. Okay. Now, I've taken another one. Now this has 4 edges. Used to be a triangle, but I cut the end off. So it's more like what we would call a polygon. It has many sides. It's not equal like a square. It doesn't have a straight edge here. It's more of an angle, so it's not a rectangle. Okay, but it's still a geometric shape. Okay, that's going to become the head for our dog. So I'm going to put glue on the back of the shape. There's our body for our puppy. Now we're going to add our geometric shapes for the parts of the face and the spots. So we're going to add, almost like making the capital letter A, and color that in. You can use a crayon or a colored pencil. A marker would work. You could I've even done paint. You could paint these. You could do another ear just the same. I'm going to do one hanging down, just like the letter U. Color it in. Okay. Now, we're going to add eyes. So ovals or circles for eyes. Geometric shapes. I'm going to put a circle around one of the eyes there. We're going to add a square for the nose here on the end. Color that in. There's a geometric shape. Okay, now we're going to continue with our organic shapes. So for our legs, it's a little bit like a backwards letter L. We're going to come down, but we're going to curve it. Make a loop at the end and back up. So there's one foot. That's very organic. It's curved and round. Let's do 3 more because we need 4 feet on our puppy. Color all of those in. You can add organic shapes onto the body for our spots. You can put spots all over your dog, and you need to add a tail. So we're going to, nice little curly tail. Your tail could be short or long, however you want. Another organic shape. So then when you finish with the spots and coloring in the legs and all of that, you're going to have one that's going to look kind of like this. Isn't he cute? So there's a finished one. Here's another one we did with paint. You can see I hung it up a little too soon and it dripped a little bit. This one, a collar was added to the dog. The tail is almost an S shape there on that one. So you can play around with your dog. Make him look as cute as you want him to. I hope you enjoy this project and happy art making. I can't wait to see what they look like.